Hello and welcome to Long Island Weather Update and Long Island Weather Outlook. We had some sun to start, and then the clouds kind of increased, showing you the satellite. The high clouds kind of started mixing in by late morning, and you could see later on in the day it got pretty overcast, and they were kind of in and out of some mid-level clouds. So let's take a look at what it was like today outside and show you what the skies were like. So these are the mid-level clouds we had today, some altocumulus. See that altocumulus there, and some more of it here. And I went to Argyle Lake, which still really not much ice on there, just a little bit on the south end of it. However, Southard's Lake certainly did have ice. That was mostly like 80% ice covered, as you see here. So you can see all the ice there. So it's not that thick, but you can see that there is definitely ice on that lake there. It's the Southard's Pond. So Southard's Pond has ice. And then we had some other interesting features in the sky, like this Virga here from the altocumulus. Actually was showing up on radar as some light snow that just wasn't reaching the ground at all. And then tonight we've got the moon out, near full moon, I guess, with some passing altocumulus and cirrus in the sky there. So just a sort of look at it here. Kind of pretty to look at there. But let's talk about what we have coming. Unfortunately, we're going to be getting into a wet pattern, and it's not what I want to hear. Obviously, as I groan and just in disgust, basically. We'll look at the satellite, the CONUS satellite. You can see here's our next storm here. So we got two storms here. One that's in the Midwest currently, and then another one that's in the Southwest. So you can see them lining up again as we get into that Pacific Firehose pattern again from hell that we got to deal with again, which I absolutely hate. So let's first go over our highs and lows for the day at the climate statistics, and we'll do that first. So ice slip, we got up to 36 today, so we did make it above freezing. Normal high is 39, so 3 degrees below normal there. The low of 17, however, was 7 degrees below normal, and that puts us 4 degrees below normal for the day. This will probably be the last day that we're going to be below normal. Central Park was about 1 degree below normal, so we're actually pretty close to normal at Central Park. So he was pretty close to average temperature-wise, a little bit below, but pretty close to normal. So let's look at our Weather Prediction Center map here, and you'll see we've got, I'm sorry, oh my god, my arm hurting me tonight. Anyway, you'll see here that there's your storm systems right there, and it's going to be a freezing rain event for the upper Midwest. You see, that's not going to be good. That could cause some power outages. And then off to the west, you have more rain and then snow in the higher terrain. So let's go to the weather, this map right here, and show you again. You can see the winter weather advisory for where they're having some ice, and then we also have, looks like, a bunch of fog advisories as the warmer air moves in over the cold ground. So let's take a look at our temperatures. There's the Arctic air retreats, and you'll see here ice slip is at 34 degrees right now. Dew points are still fairly low in the teens, but they're going to be rising. Southwest wind at 14, gusting to 22 at ice slip right now. So go over our highs and lows for the day. The temperatures generally right now are in the mid 30s. However, I do see some 28 in Coyle Field there down in the south there. So some parts of Jersey, I guess, are getting some radiational cooling. Let's see. So most areas on Long Island had lows in the teens. West Hampton got down to 10. The city was only in the 20s. They only got down to the 20s, but most areas on Long Island got down to the teens. Though some areas right along the water only got down to 20. And then if we go into Jersey, it looks like their Pine Barrens actually had some decent radiational cooling. 7 degrees at Tabernacle and 8 degrees at Coyle Field and 10 degrees at Robert J. Miller Air Park. So there was some radiational cooling in some areas. Other than that, it was generally teens unless you're in an urban area. So, or out east too, wherever the winds were and by the water. See, they only had mid-20s for lows. That also will keep the temperatures up as well. So let's go to the highs. And yeah, 36 generally. Some mid 30s generally across the area. Mid 30s, maybe a little more upper 30s in the city. And it looks like it did get to 40 degrees in Ocean County. So unfortunately, we're gonna be entering a wet pattern, and we're gonna first start with the overall pattern as we go look at the upper air. I'm sorry if I sound a little. It's just that I'm in pain because I've got my arm up, and it seems like I've got my arm up from the mouse that's hurting me tonight. I don't know why. Maybe I should try with my left, but I don't think I'm not left-handed. I'm right-handed, so I'm just gonna have to deal with the pain, get through it somehow. Like I said, I got this pinched nerve thing going again. I can't believe I'm dealing with this again. All right, so let's go to the jet stream first of all on the GFS here. I mean, I could try to do it. Let me try to move it over here. This way. I just got to remember which is which here, all right? Because I'm not. So, yeah, I can't because I'm right-handed. I can't. So you see there's the fire hose right there. All right, you can see it right there. Unfortunately, the fire hose is back, and that means no Arctic air and plenty of storm systems that we're gonna be dealing with, and you'll see that there at the trough in the west. So you can see there we have a ridge in the east, and we'll have small systems moving along that ridge, and that is going to bring rain chances. No really big storms. Man, look at that fire hose. I mean, really, look at that by the weekend. That's just crazy. So, yeah, unfortunately, with a fire hose like that, you're not really going to see any cold air or any wintry weather here, and it just continues. Here we go as we go into February. You can see that fire hose continues. There's just no end in sight. You do see like two branches of the jet stream, maybe a little more of a northern branch, but that fire hose just doesn't show any signs of letting up all the way right through the period here on the GFS here. Let's go look at the European. Probably the same deal. We'll change this to the 12Z. Yeah, that's horrible. That's just horrible. You see that fire hose, just horrible. So, that may be it for winter. Hopefully it'll be back, but right now, you can see that you can see the lower than normal pressures in the Arctic too. So that's not going to help with any blocking or anything like that. So, yeah, we got a real fire hose. Look at that. It's coming into California too. So, yeah. All right, so let's go to the upper air now. 500. So here's your upper air. And you'll see we've got the ridge in the east now. And you can see it gets to be a pretty strong ridge. But it's not gonna be like a dry pattern. You can see those lower than normal heights in the Arctic there. So this is not going to favor any cold weather at all in any of the country. Let's look at the GFS now. So here's the GFS. You can see there's the huge ridge again. And yeah, it is showing a storm perhaps around the 29th. It does show a little troughing as we get toward the end of the month. There's no connection to any cold air, but it does show some troughing. It does show a little bit of a flow out of Canada there, but it's going to be hard to really get any really cold air with this. Though the GFS is showing a little bit of a change as we get toward the end of the period there. A little bit of a change. But that's, of course, the end of the period. We're entering the period now. So we'll go look at our temperature anomaly charts, and I'm actually going to keep it on the North American view. So just to show you, at least to start with, and then I'll pull it in. So you see here above normal in much of the country, and especially in the east. Though there is really cold air. If you're up in this part of Canada here, you'll have some cold air. Also cold air in Alaska. But other than that, there isn't really a whole lot of cold air around. And it's just, again, way above what it's supposed to be across much of North America with this pattern that we're in. So we'll go and except unless you're in Alaska, maybe you'll have some cold there. But Other than that, it's going to be back into this above normal regime again. So, again, looking at our temperature anomaly chart, you'll see here way above normal, especially as we head toward Thursday. This week here, you can see just way above normal. There'll be a couple, looks like the GFS is showing one cold shot there. And the GFS is looking a little better than the European. If we go back to the European here, European just bakes us, basically. I mean, this is Thursday, Friday. I mean, look at those dark reds. That could be very much above normal. And then, yeah, it is showing a little bit of cold air, actually, before the end of the month. So we will have a little bit of cold air right there. But you can see, look at those way above normal temperatures in Canada. That's not good at all. Not good at all. So let's, now that we looked at that, let's look at the surface. We'll go to the surface. So now you have the idea of the pattern that we're entering, which is going to be crappy. So we have the high pressure here, a big, strong high pressure that gave us some nice weather. That moves offshore tomorrow. We'll have some clouds and maybe a slight chance of rain. And then here we go. Wednesday, another weak system. And then another weak system for Thursday. And then Friday, we're going to have rain chances every single day this week. It's not until we get toward later Friday into Saturday. There's Saturday, we may be able to eke out a dry day before this next storm would move over us on Sunday and bring a heavier precipitation event. But right now, it looks like that would be rain at this point. And then behind that, a high-pressure system would build down. So, GFS. So here's the GFS. I mean, similar agreement here on both models. Again, you see that we're just going to be getting one little storm after another. These are little storms, but it's going to keep those rain chances on the forecast. And then here comes the storm for Sunday, which would be a little bit. Now GFS is a little further south, which could mean maybe we could get some snow at that, perhaps. But the temperatures are really borderline with that. And then it looks like it's trying to show a little bit of cold air again as we get toward Wednesday there. A little bit of cold air coming in. It gets, like I said, it looks a little better as we get toward later in the period. But this upcoming week is certainly going to suck. Especially when we look at the total accumulated precip. Let's do that, total accumulated precip. So we get total rainfall here. And you can see the arc of rain going from pretty much the south all the way into the northeast. And then a lot of wet weather also on the west coast as well with this pattern. European, going to show the same thing. All right. So let's go back to the Weather Prediction Center for a moment because we're going to look at QPF. This kind of shows you the QPF here. All right. You can see, look at all the rain they're going to get in the south too. That's a ridiculous amount of rain. And for us, they've got us in the purple. So that means between 1.5 to 2 inches of liquid. All right. So plenty of rain, unfortunately. Well, that's exactly what we don't need. Excessive rain, only the south will have to deal with that. And then, again, here's your weather map. Again, I usually don't show this, but you can see here. Yeah, there's a cold front, but that's going to stall out. So that's we're going to be dealing with stall front syndrome and all that lovely stuff. So let's go to the short-range models now and look at the HRRR, and the 0 is the HRRR. And you can also show from between now. It's not going to be a whole lot of rain between now and it's mainly going to be just gloomy weather. No crazy storms, at least no LLJs. You'll see tomorrow we have clouds and then a little bit of light precipitation, an arc of light precipitation. I guess that could be with maybe the warm front there for tomorrow, only to the north of us. And then later tomorrow night, after 10 o'clock, we'd have some light rain moving in, and then more chances for light rain on Wednesday, perhaps. And then later on Wednesday, a steadier rain could develop Wednesday night there. It's showing a steadier rain right there. Still nothing crazy, nothing torrential, just enough to suck. So look at our dew points and wind flow on the HRRR model here. And you'll see here that, in fact, maybe I should just use the GFS. I don't think we need to use the J. Well, I'll use this so you can get an idea of the wind flow here. So tomorrow, actually, the winds become more northwesterly later in the day, which is kind of interesting. Then they go easterly. And then here we go as we get toward Thursday. You can see this is the warm air right here that's trying to make inroads on us. All right. So let's look at our temperatures. So our temperatures tonight probably not going to drop much below. Probably drop to maybe the upper 20s to around freezing. Tomorrow, temperatures similar to today. Tend to be a little cooler over Long Island, a little warmer over New Jersey. And then we're not dropping below freezing again for a while after that. So, and then we're still warmer on Wednesday. We'll probably get into the mid 40s, close to 50 in New Jersey. You can see all that warmer air that's down there. So if we look at the GFS here, we'll be able to visualize this a little bit better here. So GFS, you can see here, you can see that warmer air starts to enter the picture here as we get toward Thursday. Though it looks like we have a warm front that's kind of stalled right over Jersey. We don't really make it to the warm front. Doesn't look like we do on Thursday, at least. You can see those higher than normal dew points there. They kind of stay to the south, but then maybe Friday, maybe it gets a little closer to us, see a little bit. You can see these are the dew points, and then we have the northwest flow returning by Saturday and Sunday. And there's that other storm for Sunday, and that would pull down some colder air with some north winds, and maybe taps into some of that air from eastern Canada, perhaps, for your Monday. Temperatures, again, going into Thursday, you could see we're staying. The GFS has that front pretty much sitting up to the south, so this is going to keep us in that gray, drizzly regime with that warm front that's kind of stuck over us, and then you can see the same thing for Friday. So actually, GFS doesn't bring the warm front through at all. Where are they getting the warm front? Like DC, you could be getting close to 70. And then for Saturday, we kind of warm up into the 50s, and then we drop again. Here's Sunday, dropping again, and then here comes the colder air from Monday. So at least we can have a little bit of cold weather to look forward to maybe toward the end of the month there. That's the GFS. Of course, every model is different, especially when we're dealing with warm fronts. Let's take a look at the European model now. 12 is the European, because the European wants to bring that warmer air in more. So here's the European, and see it brings the 60s in over New Jersey. And then look at what the European does on Friday, possibly near 70 on Jersey. So the European and the GFS seem to disagree on whether that warm air is going to get in here or not. But if it does, you can see here that it's going to get quite warm on Friday, unfortunately. So that'll be way above normal, and then it'll cool down by Saturday again. But it all depends on where this warm front goes. Again, it's just going to be stuck somewhere, either to our north or whatever. It's going to be hard to kind of say where this warm front's going to go right now. It's kind of out of the range of most of the short-range models right now as far as Thursday goes. So we'll talk about that more. I think tomorrow night and Wednesday we'll have a better idea if we're going to see some of those crazy warm temperatures or not. I'm hoping not, but either way, they're going to be dealing with a lot of crappy weather. So let's go back to the GFS and look at the cloud cover. Obviously, when I say crappy weather, you're not going to see the sun at all. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe a little bit on Saturday. Then we have more storm clouds for Sunday, and then more clouds and more clouds and more clouds and just more clouds, just right into the end of the month. I don't know when we'll see the sun again. Again, this is just a really crappy pattern to be in. And it really sucks. Well, you can use a high resolution model, but it'll still show the same thing. Just going to be stuck in the clouds tomorrow, pretty much. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, right through Friday at least. So we're not seeing the sun at all again. So hopefully you enjoyed the sun as we deal with another period of this crap. So let's go to the NAM 12, which goes a little further out. So, see, almost looks like it brings a little bit of light snow over the NAM, but there won't be any accumulation. And here you see Wednesday, rain. Thursday, light rain. And look at that, Friday, we're still going to be dealing with the chance for wet weather every single day. Basically, it won't be a ton of rain, but let's see what the NAM has here. It has, it still has a decent amount of rain, between 1 and 2 inches. So, we're already above normal for precipitation for the month, so this will just put us that much more. And you can see that arc, basically, of rain that's going to occur. If we pull this out, when you take a look at the eastern U.S. view, you can see there's that arc that we're going to get here, because you can see what's going on here. You could pretty much draw out what we have going on here on this NAM model, and that is that we've got this high over here, here's your high. No text. No drawing. So you got this high over here. All right. And then here's your stalled front and your low pressure systems. And they're just going to be running along it here. It's your stalled front. So it's just be one. Yeah, it's just going to be one after another, after another, after another along the stalled front that we're going to have. So this is the misery that we're going to get for us. And it's going to suck. One low after another is just going to go right up on around this ridge here. Stalled front syndrome again. So it's really going to suck. Like I said, it's going to really suck. That's all I got to say. Just got to get ready for a really sucky week. We had to pay for that beautiful day yesterday, didn't we? Yes, we did. You can see, you can see what's going on here so easily. So let's switch to the GFS, and we're going to look at another parameter here. So this kind of shows you what we've got going on here. We've got the flow of moisture that's going to be around this ridge. And it just continues and continues right Friday, and then maybe a little bit of drawing on Saturday before the next one. So this entire week is going to basically suck. Bottom line. When it's not raining, you'll probably have a New England drizzle around and stuff like that. So it's gonna really be crappy. So let's go to the Climate Prediction Center now and look at our 6 to 10 day outlook here. And you'll see above normal in pretty much the whole country, especially the north. Only the south is near normal, and maybe the southern Florida is below normal. Precipitation, surprisingly, at below normal. Despite all the rain we're getting. I don't know why they have it below normal like that. I don't know why they're doing that. 8 to 14 day, still above normal, especially Great Lakes. But there are very good chances of above normal weather and well above normal in the Pacific as the fire hose really gets going there. So we're going to really be, and it has below normal precipitation for us. So, now that we covered that, I can look at a few more models here. We'll go look at the windy.com model here because I want to just use this to illustrate the drizzle factor here. So clouds, and I go to visibility here because this kind of shows us the visibility, all right? So wherever there's precipitation, you'll see restrictions in visibility. So looks like it has most of the precipitation to our north and east tomorrow. Then as we get toward Wednesday, we'll have to watch it. You can see here comes that rain that's going to move in on Wednesday evening. And then for Thursday, yeah, it's just going to be lingering around all day Thursday as well. You can see a lot of precipitation here. It looks like a lot of, I don't know if that's precipitation. Let's go to rain. Let's see. It's showing light rain probably, or 0.09. Not showing a lot, so it'll just be like a light rain, drizzle, gloom, basically kind of deal. That's what it's going to be like, and it's going to suck. So you're gonna, when it's not raining, you're gonna have drizzle, and it's just going to be, and then maybe later Friday we can dry it out a little bit. But for the most part, this week is going to suck really bad. So let's just take a look at the Arctic sea ice here in a minute, and then I'll go look at the polar vortex at the end of this video here. So you can see sea ice actually is doing better. It's come up quite a bit. There's a fast December expansion because all the cold air is basically just trapped in the Arctic, and that's helping to build the ice actually in the Arctic. This is the issue. Sometimes you have a super El Nino can actually help ice growth in the Arctic, and that's, I guess, one example. So lastly, we'll do this, and you can actually look at let's look at that polar vortex here. So you can see it's back to being wrapped up again, and there's our split, but it's back to being wrapped up, and of course over the other side of the globe, of course. So if you're in Siberia or Europe, you'll be getting more cold weather, but not for us. You can see that when we look at our, because we can look at our temperature anomaly here. Kind of matches up a little, not really. A lot of red on this map. A lot of red, not much blue. Not much blue. Definitely more red than blue. That's for sure. Look at how warm Greenland's going to be too. So we're going to be entering a very warm period, unfortunately, and I don't know when it's going to end. So hopefully we'll get a return to it. But this past week might have been might have been the only winter we had. Maybe 1 week of winter, and that's it before we're back to this crap again. So anyway, it's bad enough it's got to be warm, but to have the rain and the drizzle and the clouds just makes it so much worse. At least let the sun be out. I hate when you get stall front syndrome. It's the absolute worst. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. So it's going to be a really crappy week. I wish I could say anything more, but it's going to be a really crappy week. So keep that in mind. Hopefully you got a chance to enjoy these past couple of days, because this week is going to suck. And I wish I could be somewhere else. Maybe like Flagstaff. Let's see what the weather's like in Flagstaff. Let's see. They have some snow chances, it looks like. At least they have snow chances and not rain chances. Looks like they will have sunny weather by Friday, so yep. Yeah, if I had the money, every time this happened, I'd just get out of here, go somewhere where the sun is out. It's very bad mentally to have these cloudy days. It's just, I can't deal with it anymore. It's ridiculous. It really is. I hate stall front syndrome. Really, something needs to be done about getting rid of stall front syndrome, because it's not good for anybody. But anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.